The vacuum's hum had long faded, the marble floors were already spotless. Your body begged for rest, but Lucy's voice, sharp and crisp like cracked glass, echoed from downstairs. Why? I said the laundry room, not the hallway. Do you need instructions for breathing too? You exhale shakily, wiping the sweat from your forehead with the back of your wrist. 3 days, 3 miserable days since Jungkook left for Busan for a business conference. 3 days of doing every chore a staff of six usually handles. And every time you paused for even a second, Lucy found you. Your phone sat on the counter, the lock screen showing Jungkook's unread text from the morning. We'll be busy today, don't wait up. You hesitated. You were not supposed to bother him, at least. That's what he made very clear after the arranged marriage. But your hands were shaking, your throat burning from lack of sleep. You didn't want him to fix anything, you just wanted a voice that didn't hurt you. You dialed him, it rang once, twice, 3 times, then, hey, I'm in the middle of something, I'll call back later. You lowered the phone slowly. He wasn't ignoring you, he was busy. You repeated that to yourself like a player. Footsteps approached, heels clicking sharply. Lucy appeared, arms crossed, a mocking smile curling her lips, thick, dark, and lips. Trying to get his attention again, you froze, clutching your phone. I just needed what? Validation? Darling, stop embarrassing yourself. She stepped closer, voice dipped in venom. You are here to be useful, not adored. The words didn't stab you, they carved you open. Your lips parted, but nothing came out. Lucy rolled her eyes dramatically. Finish the laundry and wipe your face. No one likes a desperate wife. She walked away, leaving your dignity crumbling behind her. Your fingers trembled violently. A sound rose in your throat. Something between a breath and a broken whimper. You swallowed it down. You had become very good at that. Wine never fought back, not because she lacked strength, but because she had learned long ago that the world rarely protected orphans. Children had bullied her, strangers had ignored her, and even when she tried to stand up for herself, her voice had gone unheard. Fighting wasn't her nature, silence had always been her shield, and endurance her only companion. You slipped into the small storage room near the stairs, a cramped space smelling of cardboard and detergent. It was the only place in the mansion where Lucy didn't bother to look. Maybe because she thought you were not worth searching for, you closed the door quietly and slid on against it. Your legs finally gave up beneath you. Your palms were burning, a layer of raw, peeling skin gloved red from scrubbing chemically treated floors with your bare hands. The ring Jungkook placed there weeks ago pressed painfully against your swollen knuckle. The loneliness hit you in a single devastating wave. Tears spelled instantly hot, desperate, soundless. You buried your face in your shaking hands. Why did you marry me if I'm nothing to you? Your voice cracked, the ring gleamed under the thimble, mocking you with the promise it once symbolized. You traced the engraved initials inside T, J, and more tears fell. You remembered your wedding night, the quiet ceremony, the polite smile, the wow, he spoke without warmth but with respect. I won't give you love wine, but I will give you a home. You clung to that home now like a wounded animal clutching the edge of a cliff. The door rattled suddenly. You, Steph, Lucy, wine. If you're done hiding, get downstairs. The guest rooms need bedding. You pressed your palm over your mouth, forcing your breathing to steady. No one could hear how easily you broke. No one would care. You stood slowly, legs aching, and whispered to the ring once more softly, so even the walls wouldn't remember. I just wanted you to ask if I was okay. But you knew he wouldn't. Not yet. He opened the door and stepped back into the mansion, leaving your tears behind in the dark. By late evening, your body was trembling from exhaustion. The sunlight filtering through the tall windows had grown faint, smudging the walls with a cold orange glow. You stood at the kitchen counter, pouring cleaning solution into a bucket. The liquid stung your hands the moment it touched your skin. You hissed involuntarily. Your palms were angry red, cracked in thin, painful lines. The fingertips were swollen, the nails worn blunt from scrubbing floors, staircases, bathroom tiles, balconies, everything Lucy could point at with her perfectly manicured fingers. A droplet of the cleaning chemical slipped into a fresh cut. You flinched violently. It's okay, just a little more. Pan, wiping your tears quickly with your sleeve, hands stinging, but you knew it wasn't a little more. Lucy wouldn't stop until she heard the front door open. Until Jungkook came home, you didn't want him to see your hands looking like this, not because you feared he would worry, but because you feared he wouldn't. He would only think you were exaggerating again. So you washed your hands hurriedly and wrapped them in the sleeves of your cardigan, hiding the damage. It burned like fire, but you swallowed the pain. You should have been relieved he was finally coming home tonight. Instead, your chest squeezed with dread. The heavy front door clicked open around 8 p.m. You froze at the sound. You didn't even realize tears had already filled your eyes. 3 days of humiliation, exhaustion, loneliness, collapsing all at once. You rushed out of the kitchen like someone escaping a cage, and when you saw him, Jungkook standing at the entrance, loosening his tie, hair tousled from travel, suit jacket hanging casually over his shoulder, your breath hitched painfully in your throat. He looked tired, he looked stressed, he looked like home. Your legs moved on instinct. Jungkook, your voice cracked. You didn't think, you didn't hesitate. You ran straight into him, arms wrapped around his torso, your face burrowing into the crook of his neck. The center of his collar warm cedar, and something darker hit you. And the dam finally broke. Tears spilled freely, soaking his shirt. Your body trembled in his hold. At first, his hands hovered awkwardly in the air, surprised. Jungkook really received affection from you like this, not since he told you not to expect love from him. Then his expression shifted into mild irritation. Wine, what's going on? You tried to steady your breathing, but every emotion you had suppressed for 3 days clawed up your throat. I missed you. I didn't know what to do. His jaw tensed. You didn't see the stress in his eyes. You didn't see the fatigue of a week long negotiation. You didn't know he just came out of a call where millions were at risk. All he saw was tears again. He stiffened, pulling back slightly. Wine, don't make everything about you. Your breath stopped. This isn't the time. I'm exhausted. Stop being an attention seeker. The words hit harder than Lucy's cruelty, harder than the exhaustion burning your bones. You stepped back instantly, hands hidden in your sleeves, tears still sliding down silently, but you didn't argue, didn't defend yourself, didn't explain. You simply lowered your gaze to the floor, bowed your head with quiet dignity, and whispered, I'm sorry. Your voice was so small it was almost non existent. Then you turned around and walked away, not hurriedly, not dramatically, just quietly. Too quietly, Jungkook watched you disappear down the hallway, something strange flickering in his chest, something he didn't bother naming. But your silence, that silence, felt heavier than your tears. The next morning, Jungkook expected to see you waiting in the dining room like always. You were not there. You always greeted him, you always asked if he slept well, you always placed his breakfast plate with a soft smile. Today, nothing. The plate was already on the table, cold, and you were now here. Lucy was humming on the couch, eating strawberries. She looked too relaxed. Jungkook ignored her. Where's wine? Lucy shrugged carelessly. Maybe she is finally giving you some space. You look better without her clinging. Jungkook didn't reply, but something tightened in his jaw. At lunch, there was no greeting. At tea time, you didn't bring him his cup. Your footsteps echoed like a ghost, quiet, distant, barely present. When he passed you in the hallway, you lowered your gaze and murmured, Excuse me. No warmth, no hesitation, no eye contact, just simply politeness. That evening, Jungkook paused outside your bedroom door. It was locked. He tested the handle twice. It remained locked. A frown tugged at his lips. You had never locked your door before. He reminded himself it didn't matter, yet he found himself lingering at your door a moment longer before walking away. 2 days passed in that suffocating, unnatural silence. Jungkook tried to pretend it didn't bother him. He told himself, she's just giving me space, it's good, it's fine. But every time he walked past her room and saw the door still closed, still locked, something twisted uncomfortable inside him. On the third evening, while heading to his study, he paused outside the guest room where you stored some household files. He needed a contract copy his manager had asked for. He pushed the door open. The room smelled faintly of detergent and something sharp metallic blood. He frowned and stepped inside. Your cardigan sat draped over a chair. Beside it, a notebook lay open, neat handwriting filling the page. Jungkook's eyes narrowed as he read the list. Clean all four balconies, polish marble staircase, wash guest sheets, scrub patio floors, organize storage room, iron loose dresses, clean kitchen cabinets. Sweep attic. Rewatch balcony. Lucy said it wasn't shiny enough. Prepare dinner, and beside each task, a small check mark. He flipped the page, another list, another day, more tasks. His heartbeat changed rhythm, something dark coiling in his stomach. This wasn't normal, this wasn't helping around the house. This was labor, forced labor. He lifted your cardigan and a small white tube slid out of the pocket, hitting the floor softly. Burn ointment. He picked it up, brows frowning. Before he could process, he heard a soft hiss of pain behind him. He turned, you stood in the doorway, startled to see him there. Your sleeves were pulled up slightly, revealing angry red patches, skin split at the knuckles, small dried trails of blood near your thumb. You instantly yanked your sleeves down. Why? What happened to your hands? You looked down, then away, then whispered so quietly he almost didn't hear, just cleaning. Something cold and sharp pierced his chest. He had seen what cleaning looked like in this house. He had seen the list. This wasn't normal. Before he could say anything, you stepped back. I'll leave you to your work. And you walked away, shoulders tense, head down. Jungkook stared at your retreating figure, fists clenching around the bottle of ointment. For the first time, he felt fear, fear that something was happening right under his nose, and he had been too blind, too tired, too careless to notice. Later that night, Jungkook entered the living room and found Lucy lounging on the couch, scrolling through her phone. She glanced up. You looked stressed. Meetings didn't go well. He ignored the question. When he was away, did you need anything from wine? Lucy laughed lightly, flipping her hair. Need anything, please? She needed me. Jungkook stiffened. Lucy smirked at the reaction. I had to keep her busy, otherwise she would just sit there waiting for your calls. Pathetic, right? He felt something in his throat. We were like anger threatening to reveal itself. What do you mean by keeping her busy? Lucy waved dismissively. Oh, come on, she's your wife, not the queen. Someone had to take control while you were gone. The phrase hit him like a bullet. Take control, your bruised hands, the endless lists, your silence, the locked door, pieces begin falling into place, assembling a picture he didn't want to believe, and Lucy, oblivious to her mistake, kept talking. Honestly, you would thank me, at least she learned how to be useful. Jungkook's voice went ice cold. Lucy, what exactly did you make her do? His tone was low, dangerous. Lucy paused just for a second, but it was enough. Jungkook now knew. You hadn't been dramatic, you had been suffering, and he had failed to see it. It was almost midnight when Jungkook heard the sound crash, glass shattering. His heart lurched. He rushed toward the kitchen. There you were, kneeling on the floor, hands trembling as you tried to gather broken glass with your bare fingers. Fresh blood smeared across your palms and fingertips as if you didn't even feel the cuts. Your eyes were unfocused, empty, broken. Jungkook's breath caught. Wine, stop. What are you doing? You didn't flinch, didn't look up. You kept picking up the shards one by one as if your pain didn't matter. Blood dripped onto the tiles. Jungkook stepped forward quickly, grabbing her wrist gently but firmly. Wine, look at me. You blinked, startled, but still didn't raise your head. He swallowed hard. What happened to you? His voice cracked around the edges. You finally spoke soft, hollow, lifeless. Nothing. He felt that one word like a knife. Your hands, why are they? You cut him off, voice trembling. I don't want to bother you. Time stopped. Jungkook's grip on your wrists loosened in shock. The kitchen felt unbearably quiet. The house suddenly too big, the air too cold. Your words repeated in his head. I don't want to bother you. Not cry, not complain, not ask for help, not look dramatic, just not bother him. You gently pulled your hands away from his and lowered your head again, reaching for the glass shard he had stopped you from touching. His breath broke, your silence was in peace. It was surrender, and for the first time, Jungkook realized it was the reason you no longer cried. You had learned to suffer quietly. The mansion was silent when Jungkook entered from his office that evening. He had left early in the morning, running from one meeting to another, his mind clouded with spreadsheets, negotiations, and the sharp sting of a deal he had just lost. The kind of day where every problem felt heavier than the last, and yet he had felt something was wrong at home and unease gnawing at him since the moment he left. A whisper in his chest that he couldn't ignore. He stepped into the grand living room and froze. Lucy in wine, her face bruised, tear stained, contorted in shock. Lucy's hand had just struck her cheek. A sharp, stinging mark glimmered right across Wine's skin. You stupid girl, how could you? I'm sorry. Jungkook's blood ran cold, time slowed, everything around him, the chandelier, the marble floors. Lucy's open mouthed fury faded into silence, except for the thunder in his chest. He stepped forward, every muscle taut, his jaw tight. Lucy stepped back. Lucy's head snapped toward him. And what are you going to do, huh? You think you can? He didn't wait. Two sharp slaps landed across Lucy's face, the sound echoing through the hall like a gunshot. Her hand flew to her cheek, eyes wide in shock. She's my wife, not your maid. Lucy stumbled backward. Get out now from this house. Every corner, every room, leave, don't come back. Lucy, trembling with fury and disbelief, turned on her heel and stormed out. The door slammed behind her with a deafening bang. Jungkook's shoulders shook, not from anger now, but from the weight of guilt, exhaustion, and shock. He turned toward Vine. She was sitting on the couch, her hands wrapped carefully in her cardigan sleeves. Her eyes avoided his. Vine, I'm so sorry. Why didn't you tell me? She shook her head slightly, looking down. It's okay. I didn't want to be an attention seeker. The word stabbed him sharp deep. The memory of his own hurtful line, the one that made her retreat into silence, flashed vividly. He saw everything now, the lists, the bruised hands, the ointment, her quiet suffering. And suddenly, all the stress, the anger, the meetings he had lost, the weight of the failed negotiations felt insignificant compared to the guilt clawing at him. I had work pressure in meetings. I lost the deal today. I was thinking about everything else and I ignored you. I failed you. Please forgive me. I should have seen it sooner. I should have noticed. Wine remained silent, had both tears quietly threatening to fall again. He gently took her hands into his, carefully peeling the cardigan sleeves back to reveal the raw, red, cracked skin. Here, let me. He opened the ointment tube and began applying it slowly, methodically, his fingers gentle on her injured skin. Every touch carried apology, remorse, and the unspoken promise that he would never let her endure this alone again. I'll make it right. No more work like this. No more Lucy. I'll hire proper staff. You will never ever clean like this again. I promise. His hands lingered on hers, ensuring the ointment covered every crack, every raw patch. You don't have to, you already did so much. No, I will do everything. I'm sorry for everything, Wine, for the words I said, for not nursing, for letting her hurt you. Please forgive me. Tears finally slipped down Wine's cheeks, but she still didn't speak. He pressed his forehead gently to hers. I don't care about work. I don't care about meetings. You matter more than anything. I should have realized it sooner. He stayed there, quiet, gentle, carefully attending to her as she finally allowed herself to tremble in his arms. Every ounce of his guilt and regret poured into caring for her, into making her feel safe, into showing her worth that she was finally truly his. The night stretched long. He didn't leave her side, carefully applying ointment, fetching warm water, wiping tears from her cheek, murmuring apologies, soft assurances, and promises he made with every fiber of his being. For the first time since their arranged marriage, one felt noticed, truly noticed, and Jungkook vowed silently he would never allow anyone, including himself, to hurt her again. The mansion was quiet, bathed in the soft glow of the early morning, sun streaming through floor to ceiling windows. The usual hum of cleaners and hired staff moved like a soft murmur in the background, leaving the space calm and peaceful. Jungkook had shifted his office into the mansion weeks ago. He refused to leave her side for long periods ever again. Meetings, calls, and even negotiations, everything happened here now. Every time he looked up from his desk, he saw her, a sight that made the chaos of business suddenly seem trivial. One was sitting cross legged on the sofa, a thick blanket draped over her shoulders, her hands now fully healed and soft held the cup of warm tea. She looked up as he entered, carrying files in one hand and a small folder in the other. You're sitting there like a queen. Do you want me to fetch a crown too, or will tea suffice? Just don't spill it on the carpet this time. I would like to keep one corner of the house without your clumsy presence. He chuckled, setting down his folder and kneeling beside her, reaching gently to brush a strand of hair from her face. You really think I would let you lift a finger ever again? Not now, not ever. Maids, cleaners, cooks, they exist for this reason. You, my wife, exist for one thing only, to be happy. And if I try to make myself useful anyway, I will tie you to the sofa and force feed you tea until you promise to stay put. Her laughter, light and free, echoed through the room. He watched her, feeling something unfamiliar for him once, absolute peace. That night, as the mansion's lights dimmed, he found her curled upon the couch with a blanket pulled tightly around her shoulders. Without a word, he joined her, wrapping his arms around her waist and resting his head gently against hers. Do you really have to work in the mansion too? I have never had anyone care like this. Not really. His chest tightened at the confession. He rested his chin on her shoulder, holding her close, feeling the warmth of her body settle against his. Then don't ever think about it. I'm here always. No one will hurt you again. Not Lucy, not the world, not even me. If I ever say something that makes you doubt it. She tilted her head, resting it against his chest. You are a little scary when you are serious. And you love it, maybe a little. They stayed like that long into the night. Jungkook's arm curled around her protectively. She, the orphan who had known nothing but struggle, finally felt what it meant to belong to someone fully and without question. And for Jungkook, the man who had once been too busy with meetings, tales, and the world to notice her pain, he discovered that no business deal, no office, no power could ever compare to the warmth of holding her in his arms, watching her sleep safely, knowing she was finally utterly his. You're mine forever, and I'll never let anyone ever take that from you. Wine stirred slightly in her sleep, murmuring softly, don't leave me, never, not ever. And in that quiet mansion, filled with the soft hum of distant activity, they slept together, tangled not just in each other's arms, but in trust, love, and the unspoken promise that this time no one would ever break them apart. The world outside could wait here in their room, nothing else mattered.